Our group will be presenting about ethics of technology. These are our group members. The group members that will be doing the video are Johannes Cheng, Chiu Yong Shi, Tan Jiajia, Hugh Yet Ying, Wong Wei Shen. Now I will pass it on to Jiajia to talk about the introduction.
In recent, technology has developed rapidly, improving efficiency and convenience and helping us solve many problems. However, the development of hormones also raises some ethical issues, especially in terms of privacy, safety, and social impact. Technology ethics refer to the moral principle and value that govern the development and use of technology. It raises important questions such as who is responsible for the action of the machines? How is personal data collected and used? What is the impact of technology on employment and the economy? Therefore, we should pay attention to the research of technological ethics to ensure that technology conforms to human values and is used to benefit us. By examining the ethical implication of technology, we can ensure that technological progress is made in a way that protects the right and interests of individuals and society. Now, moving on to methodology.
Okay, thank you, Jaja. Now we move on to methodology. For methodology, we have evaluated the contents of the ethics of technology and grouped it into three categories, which is biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and weapon development. There are three main objectives in this content analysis. The first one is to research the design and incorporation process of moral behavior into service and products of technology companies and developers. Secondly is to research how the government and regulatory bodies can address moral questions about technology and how it affects the society. The ultimate objective is to guide the responsible, egalitarian, and sustainable development and use of technology. So for content analysis, we have created a Google form is then shared through social media such as Twitter to study and understand the opinions of the publics towards certain debatable topics of technology. The questions are then split into 4 sections. Section 1, General Questions, Section 2, Biotechnology, Section 3, Artificial Intelligence, and the last section is Weapon Development. The results of the study are collected through the answer obtained from questions asked in the Google form. So now I will pass it to findings and discussions.
Moving on to findings and discussions. Before asking our participants for specific questions, we ask them a few general questions, which are their age and whether they heard of the following topics of technology, which includes biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and weapons development. And lastly, are they familiar with the latest technology news? Going into biotechnology, based on the pie chart, majority of the people know little about the concept of biotechnology. We later asked them whether it's alright to undergo gene editing of a species for a stronger variant. Majority of the participants agreed on it. We then asked them what are the reasons for baby gene editing, where most of the answers are to strengthen the immune system of the baby and later when they grow up. However, majority of the participants disagree on letting their babies undergo gene editing because this technology is not yet mature, and they believe it could cause death, mutations, side effects like disabilities and weaknesses. They also think that this method is unnatural, which will affect the ecosystem. Furthermore, we asked our participants whether the sacrifice of animals for experiment is cruel or it's necessary. Many of them think that it's necessary and some think that it's kind of both. We then asked them whether are there alternatives to replace animal experiments. Some say that it is the only way, some say that we could use volunteers, others say that we could use a genetically engineered biomaterial or AI simulations and scenario modeling. We also asked would they prefer to use a lab-tested or non-tested product. Many of them prefer to use a lab-tested product since they're proven scientifically by professionals.
For the study of artificial intelligence, less than half of the people who participated in our survey said that they are familiar with the concept of artificial intelligence. As for the question, do you think robots and AI will replace humans one day as the main source of labor? A whopping 47.3% of respondents agreed to the statement. As for if they are comfortable with the idea of having a conversation with an AI, most of the respondents replied no to the question, with 35.4% while 32.3% of the respondents are comfortable to have a conversation with an AI. On the other hand, respondents of the survey are given a question of jobs opportunities in the future. Some respondents said that there would be a decrease in human-operated jobs, and remaining human jobs will be computer-related, creativity-related, and ethics-related. On the other hand, other respondents also said that there would be a balance between human jobs and jobs that will be replaced by AI. Moving on to the next question, which is, do you think AI-generated content should be prohibited for now until an AI detecting system rolls out? 36.9% of respondents are on the fence on this question, as they do not have good or bad opinions on this issue. Moving on, respondents are faced with questions. In your opinion, is it okay for people to use AI for their work or tasks? This question is received positively by the respondents, as 58.5% of respondents agree that it is okay for people to use AI for their work or tasks. Respondents who agreed to use AI for work said that it decreases workload but increases efficiency and convenience, and it also is a good way to get references. While the minority of respondents who disagree with the question said that people who use AI for work may become complacent and lazy, and the work done by AI lack genuineness and creativity.
I'm going to share our findings in weapon development technology. Based on the pie chart above, most responses reject the idea of publishing their invention in a future war, while some responses decide to publish and only a small percentage of responses may depend on the pros and cons. If there is no prevention of invention and exploitation for war, there will serve no useful purpose. This area of invention usually comes with stricter regulation that must be followed in every nation. The authorities will penalize you seriously if your invention breaks the relevant regulations. Even if the invention is successfully commercialized, its usage is limited to combat or military training, so it only serves a small purpose. When activated, it has a self-termination feature and can only be used as a backup. Additionally, this invention will only patent for military use and be mostly confidential so that other nations cannot find out about it. Next. So, most of the responses did not agree, while some of them agreed to publish the concept behind a weapon to the public. Next. So, based on the pie chart above, most of the responses think that's okay, and some of them did not agree that each country to test their new weapons. In order to reduce risks, all inventions, including new weapons, must be tested before put into operation. This is because the new inventions has brought up a significant amount of uncertainty. To record data and identify strength and weakness, every new weapon must be tested. If the weakness is identified, they will gather this data and enhance its abilities going forward. While on the other hand, the inventor will be recognized by the nation for contributing a new technical abilities in weapon development. For instance, Mikhail Kalashnikov, who designed the AK-47, won award for his inventions. Next, we are going to discuss about our topics.
Epistemology is a branch of philosophy that deals with the nature of knowledge, belief, and justification. In terms of ethical and moral knowledge, it is often the case that there is a lack of clear justification, leading to varying beliefs and opinions among individuals. This is particularly true when it comes to technology ethics, where the answer to questions about right and wrong can be subjective and open to interpretation. The survey conducted as part of the research highlights the subjective nature of ethical knowledge. It is evident that opinions and beliefs are playing a significant role in shaping the answers to the question, rather than a thorough and well-justified analysis. This is particularly true due to the fact that ethics and morality are not based on physical experiences or sensory input, but rather on abstract concepts and values that can be difficult to pin down. From a philosophical perspective, This lack of justification for ethical beliefs and opinions can be seen as a challenge for epistemologists. Empirism, for instance, holds that knowledge is based on sensory experience and observation. But in the case of ethics, it is not possible to rely solely on physical data to support our beliefs. This leads to a situation where the truth of ethical concepts are debatable and open to interpretation, leading to variations in belief among individuals. In conclusion, the study of technology ethics is not a field that presents itself with certainty. The survey results show that people's experiences and feelings towards technology ethics vary greatly, and there is no clear argument on which is right and wrong. As such, it can be argued that the knowledge of technology ethics is not absolute, and there is still much work to be done to further our understanding of this complex and important field.
The definition of logic is doing something with valid reasoning, usually using connecting premise to provide a valid conclusion. Technology is the term used to describe the practical application of scientific knowledge to human life's objectives. Anything technical in the world of technology can also be described as logical. A technical method or thing seems illogical if we did not realize the logic behind it.
For the next discussion, it's about psychology and sociology. Technology ethics in Malaysia are influenced by cultural values, social conventions, regulatory requirements, and professional standards. A few examples of ethical principles that influence the ethical use of technologies are confidentiality, informed permissions, and the respect for privacy. In order to ensure that the results are dependable and accurate, technology utilization in research and practice must also be in accordance with Malaysia's cultural and religious standards. In the real world, psychologists and sociologists should take ethical consideration when gathering, keeping, and using personal data. In general, the ethics of technology in psychology and sociology in Malaysia involve striking a balance between the potential advantages of technology and the need to safeguard the rights and welfare of people and communities. I'll pass it on for the next discussion.
Ideology are political and cultural that shape people's view on appropriate use of technology, as well as its potential impacts on society. Modernist perspectives tend to focus on the benefits of technology and its potential to improve society. Modernist believes in objective truth and universal values, which can guide ethical decision making around technologies. Postmodern perspectives question the idea of objective truth and universal values, and instead emphasize the importance of individual experience and cultural relativism. In the context of technology ethics, postmodernists might argue that the effects of technology on society are shaped by cultural and social factors rather than by technology itself. Lastly, relativism is relative perspective that holds that ethical value and principles are relative to cultural and social context. In the context of technology ethics, relativists may argue that what is considered ethical or unethical use of technology can vary across different cultures and societies. These different perspectives can influence how people understand and approach the ethics of technology. It is important for individuals and organizations to consider these different perspectives and engage in ongoing ethical discussion as technology continues to evolve and impact society.
In conclusion, the development and application of science and technology has indeed made important contribution. But at the same time, it has brought many new challenges to us, such as the ethical issue of science and technology. In our research, we focus on 3 technological issues: biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and weapon development. In addition to promoting technological progress, scientific development is also responsible for reducing the shortcomings of current technologies and preventing misuse that could be harmful to humans. Therefore, we need to guide guidance and regulation of scientific and technological activities during the holidays. so that it can be better play the role of science and technology in society.